When you get indicted for sex trafficking and then you order 6 drums of sulfuric acid right away, are you really worried about your reverse osmosis plant right after you get indicted? I feel like you're going to jail.
It looks like a duck and it...
Welcome to Rogan Recap Show, where we squeeze a 3.5-hour conversation into about 15 minutes so you catch the big ideas, the wild moments, and the takeaways in one quick hit. This week, we're with Oscar-winning screenwriter and director Roger Avary, a man who sees beyond the Hollywood curtain. He's here to dissect the film industry's decline, expose hidden agendas, and pull back the veil on some truly unsettling truths. If you've ever felt like reality is a little off, this recap gives you the signal without the noise and helps you decide if you're ready for the full 3-hour deep dive. Roger Avary opens with a passionate, if cynical, look at the state of modern cinema. For him, the shift from film to digital isn't just a technological change. It's a fundamental degradation of the art form, driven by corporate mandates and a misunderstanding of what makes a movie magical. He argues that the digital era, coupled with streaming giants like Netflix, has homogenized storytelling. Instead of capturing lightning in a bottle, directors are now forced to follow white papers, rigid formulas that dictate everything from camera choices to story beats.
Netflix giving you a white paper saying you have to shoot with these cameras, you have to process at these labs, you have to have, tech specs that are within this range, and that's now extending to story because they've analytically looked at what audiences are able to process now, which is less and less, probably because of the COVID shot, completely frying their pineal glands so that they can no longer pay attention to anything. And then on top of that, the mind control device of cell phones. And, with all of that, they're now like, well, how do we maintain the audience? And so you end up with white papers.
Don't you think it's options too? It's almost like if something is not really fascinating within the first 20, 30 seconds, people just want to, let's see what else is on. They just want to keep searching.
Well, there is that. I mean, there's something magical about being in a movie theater. It's, you're in this congregation.
Yeah.
Quentin always talks about how, movies are my church. Well, it is a congregation, and you're sitting in the dark next to someone you don't even know. They might have completely different ideologies.
This analytical approach, he suggests, caters to ever-dwindling attention spans, perhaps even due to pineal glands fried by vaccines and mind control devices like cell phones. For Avary, the old way, where every frame burned money and demanded meticulous preparation, created a tangible tension and artistic integrity that's now lost. This leads to his second major takeaway, the pervasive influence of corporate propaganda in Hollywood. Avary contends that personal artistic vision has been overshadowed by mandates that push specific ideologies, often at the expense of good storytelling. He points to the stark contrast between classic Star Trek, which explored complex social issues through nuanced narratives, and modern iterations like Star Trek Discovery.
And this dweeb Alex Kurtzman comes along and just shits all over everything, just like craps all over it. And I mean, I went in and met with the guy. I was like, hey, I will write for scale. I'll write on your new show. I just want to be part of it.
Just as an opportunity to work on Star Trek.
And I basically found out he didn't want anybody who had any kind of fondness for the original show. He wanted to do something new and to create something new. And boy, has he shit the bed, like in a big way. And this latest thing that they've made, this Starfleet Academy, now it's still ongoing. Maybe it writes itself at some point.
I think they canceled it.
Did they? Good.
The newest.
Good. They read the room.
Version.
They read the room. Finally.
Is it? They stop the idea of a season 2?
That fucking Alex Kurtzman, man. His company's called.
Avary praises Seth MacFarlane's The Orville for recapturing the spirit of original Star Trek, precisely because MacFarlane hired the very writers and showrunners that modern Star Trek had discarded. He even suggests that films like Alien were early examples of what we now call DI movies, but done so subtly and effectively that nobody noticed, a testament to genuine storytelling over forced messaging. His final big takeaway is the chilling idea that a powerful, unseen cabal manipulates global events and institutions. This isn't just about Hollywood, it extends to politics, finance, and even our perception of reality. Avary paints a picture of a world where everything from elections to pandemics might be orchestrated by a small, interconnected group. He cites the movie The Counselor, written by Cormac McCarthy, as a dark, prophetic analysis of how cartels, not governments, truly run the modern world. It's a bleak vision where individual agency is almost non-existent against such overwhelming, systemic control. This deep dive begins with the bombshell that started the show, the Epstein files. Avary doesn't shy away from the most disturbing allegations, including the sulfuric acid purchases and the baby-eating claims. He links these to the ancient concept of mundus vult decipi, the world wants to be deceived, suggesting a collective reluctance to confront uncomfortable truths. For Avary, this deception extends to major historical events.
Just collapsed on itself? Let's watch it collapse. Because the way it collapses is so kooky. Because it really does it at freefall speed. Or close to it. It's strange. Like, there's never been a building that looks that intact that falls like that. It's weird, man. I mean, it's fucking weird. Anybody that says it's not weird, look, this is how it happened. It's weird. Now, the planes hitting Tower 1 and Tower 2, okay, that makes maybe more sense to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, because it fell from the top down. Like, it looks normal. It doesn't collapse into its base. Tower 7 collapses into its base. The way Tower 1 and Tower 2
But how about the testimony of people
fell.
saying they heard multiple pop, 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 pop explosions? Is that just girders snapping?
It could be. Yeah. I mean, you got to think you have immense amounts of weight, and it is collapsing. So if it does collapse, the way it looks it's collapsing from the top down, it's not going to be silent. You're going to hear tremendous explosions when concrete hits the slabs below it. It's going to sound like explosions. Also, you have the fog of war, right? So you have these people that are involved in an extremely traumatic situation, and their memory is very fucked. Like, your memory's fucked when you experience something like this. You remember things funny. You have confirmation bias. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens. So this is the explanation that a piece of the plane falls down and hits that building.
And big tower on top.
Yeah. I'm sorry. A piece of the
aerial antenna.
building, I meant to say, sorry. So that piece of the building falls down, and not a plane, obviously, hits the building next to it, Tower 7. And that gash is all it took to take that building down. That's super suspect. And I do know that there was a fire inside the building. I'm sure there was. But the way it fell was crazy. Tower 1 and Tower 2, it's like, I don't know what happens when a jet flies into a building like that, and neither do you. And also you got to deal with corrupt construction companies, cutting corners, not doing things up to code. Perhaps. I'll give you that. I'll be super charitable. But with Building 7, I'm like, come on, man, that's weird. That one's fucking weird. Because it doesn't fall like 1 and 2. 1 and 2 fall from where the impact...
He revisits the controversy surrounding 9/11 and the collapse of Building 7, arguing that anyone who claims its freefall collapse wasn't weird is simply gaslighting. He then introduces the concept of predictive programming, suggesting that films like and The Medusa Touch, produced by an alleged Mossad agent, subtly prepare the public for future events, making them more acceptable when they occur. The conversation takes an even more mind-bending turn with Avary's exploration of flat Earth theory. While he doesn't explicitly state he believes the Earth is flat, he provocatively argues that, experientially, through the testimony of the eyes, it is flat. He questions satellite images as cartoons, and points to digital stitching in live space station feeds as evidence of manipulation.
1,000 years.
I see right there a little stitching, like right there.
So this would just keep going straight forever?
Do you see that line?
Yeah,
Do you see that line right there? What is that?
What is that line?
Yeah, what is that line? Well, that looks like stitching to me. It looks like they've stitched together, and it crosses over there through that mountain range right there.
That is weird, whatever that is. But
so by your very example, I'm just saying that you have to have a certain amount of faith in that. And on the surface, mundus vult decipi.
Well, okay. You're freaking me out. Go back to that, Jamie. So what is the explanation? Go back a little bit.
Yeah, what is the explanation of that line right there?
I don't know.
Right, but how weird is that? That is weird that there's this line.
Right, because
very
that
clear.
in itself is a composite image, a cartoon that has been put together for you to look at this apparent live imagery that is being taken. And
Is this multiple images that are supposedly pieced together? Is that what they're...
I'm saying that things fall into, like, the way perspective works is.
This leads to a broader discussion on simulation theory, the nature of gravity as an unproven concept, and how our understanding of the universe is largely based on faith, not pure science. He even delves into ancient Hebrew numerology and the idea that language itself can hide deeper, spiritual meanings, lost in translation. For Avary, the world is a complex, coded illusion, and most people are too desensitized or too busy to notice. Alright, let's tally up the wild ride with Roger Avary on the Rogan scorecard. First up, the curse-o-meter. Roger Avary is a man who speaks his mind, and occasionally that mind speaks in four-letter words, especially when discussing Hollywood's failings or global conspiracies. Full Gordon Ramsay. Next, the rabbit hole rating. Avary dove headfirst into everything from Epstein's alleged baby-eating to 9/11 truth, flat Earth, and the idea that history itself is a lie. He didn't just go down a rabbit hole, he built a multi-story underground bunker in it. Rabbit hole rating, 10 out of 10, deeper than the Mariana Trench. Finally, the guest coherence score. Avary is incredibly articulate and knowledgeable, especially about film. But his theories, while presented with conviction, often challenge fundamental understandings of reality. It's a captivating, if sometimes dizzying, intellectual tightrope walk. Guest coherence score, 7 out of 10, provocatively articulate. If this recap helped you navigate Roger Avary's mind-bending theories without burning 3.5 hours, hit that like button. You just got the signal without the noise. If you want more breakdowns of every JRE episode, from stand-up legends to heavyweight scientists to full-tilt conspiracy theorists, be sure to subscribe to Rogan Recap. And let us know in the comments, what was the wildest theory Roger Avary dropped that made you say, wait, what? Or, he might have a point. You can find a link to the full Joe Rogan Experience episode in the description below. Roger Avary's career spans decades, marked by his Oscar-winning screenplay for Pulp Fiction and cult classics like Killing Zoe. He's also known for his work on the Silent Hill film adaptation. But his latest venture is perhaps his most ambitious, General Cinema Dynamics, an AI-powered film studio. He's currently in production on 3 features, including a family Christmas movie set to release this holiday season, a faith-based film for next Easter, and a romantic war epic. You can also dive deeper into his unique perspective on film, technology, and culture by checking out The Avary Show podcast, where he continues to explore the fascinating and often unsettling connections shaping our world. Roger Avary's conversation with Joe Rogan was a masterclass in challenging established narratives. He presents a world where everything from the movies we watch to the history we're taught might be a carefully constructed illusion, designed by powerful, unseen forces. It's a provocative call to question everything and to trust our own experiential truth over official stories. So, how much of our perceived reality is truly objective fact, and how much is a meticulously crafted narrative? And in a world where the world wants to be deceived, what responsibility do we have to seek out the uncomfortable truths? Beyond these weekly recaps, we also produce Rogan Deep Dives, comprehensive, 30-minute anthologies that synthesize high-impact clips from various JRE episodes. These deep dives offer a structured, entertaining narrative on Joe Rogan's stance on recurring themes like aliens, DMT, or ancient civilizations. It's the perfect way for existing fans to get a comprehensive overview of Joe's most compelling recurring topics. So hit that subscribe button to catch those deep dives and more of our 15-minute breakdowns. All links to the full JRE episode, Roger Avary's work, and our community poll are waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next recap.